Hey everyone, welcome to 996 The Howl. For the uninitiated, this is an unedited YouTube vlog discussing everything Arizona Coyotes. And we're going to talk about one of my favorite players next to Max Domi, a true special player. He's faced a lot of adversity. His journey to the NHL is still ongoing. It's a tough road for him, and he just shows you got to keep working. Even though things look bleak, you gotta still push through, push along, and continue to improve yourself. And that's Dylan Strome. You know, a lot of players get drafted and immediately jump into the NHL and have success right away. And then for other players, you know, like a Mark Scheifele, it takes a while. It takes a lot of adversity, like I said, and that's what Dylan Strome's had to go through. But fortunately, things are looking up for him, and hopefully he continues to work and continues to bring his junior and American Hockey League game into the NHL. So let's get into it. Drafted third overall in 2015 behind some of the big names in that draft. Connor McDavid and Jack Eichel. Huge shoes to follow. But Coyotes decided to go with him. Don Maloney drafted him. Behind Strome, Don Maloney could have drafted Mitch Marner or Noah Hannafin. I think Mitch Marner would have been more of an immediate help, but Don Maloney wanted a strong number one center, a big frame to compete against the likes of Getzlaf, McDavid, Kopitar, and Joe Thornton. But the foresight, you know, Thornton probably won't even play next year. Getzlaf's aging, and Kopitar still produces, but he's aging as well. And then you got a new Pacific team in Vegas, which is more young, and they don't have a number one center. Calgary, not a number one big center, sorry. And Calgary doesn't have a huge number one center. So the Western Conference, the Pacific Division more specifically, is trying to downsize in terms of number one centermen. And Don Maloney was, you know, not part of that trend. So that's why we have John Chayka to buck that trend. So we still have Strome, still a work in progress, a great young player, and who dominates in every league he's in except the NHL. So let's get into it. In 2014, 2015, he played with McDavid on the Erie Otters in the OHL. And scored 129 points in 68 games. That's a 1.9 points per game average. The next season, McDavid got shipped to Edmonton and started to play in the NHL right away. And he left Strome to captain the Erie Otters in the OHL. And Strome continued to produce even better without McDavid, scoring 111 points in 56 games, a 1.98 points per game average. So he increased his points per game by about a tenth without McDavid. So that was great to see. You know, a lot of people said McDavid carried Strome, but obviously not the case with those numbers. So Strome dominates in the OHL, and then he gets called up to the Coyotes in 2016, 2017, and scores 1 assist in 7 games. He was invisible in those 7 games. Wasn't NHL ready, showed no playmaking ability, no shooting ability, no skating ability, is really bad. And John Chayka decided he should go back to the Erie Otters, get them a championship, and come back next year. The team was kind of a tire fire in 2016, 2017. So I don't blame John Chayka sending Strome down, and Strome needed to work on some things, get bigger, get more confident with the puck in the offensive zone, and he did just that, scoring 75 points in 35 games that season with Erie, which is a 2.14 points per game average, just lighting up the OHL, and that was it. He did everything he could in the OHL, played with McDavid, got the Erie Otters an OHL championship being captain, and he scored over 2 points per game average, and he was finished in the OHL. And then last season, John Chayka tried Strome again, and in the first 11 games, Strome only had In the first inning, it was 5 games. He had no points at all. And then John Chayka demoted him to the Tucson Roadrunners to try his luck in the AHL. And Strome exceeded expectations once again. In 50 games played, he scored 53 points. So again, a point per game player in the American Hockey League. Even before then, he captained Canada to a World Junior silver medal, losing to Clayton Keller's United States. I think that was 2016, 2017. And then, like I said, in Tucson this season, points per game average, and took Tucson to the playoffs. But just before the playoffs, John Chayka, wanted to reward Strome with another call-up. And in the last 10 games of the season, Strome got 8 points, almost a point per game average. He scored 3 goals in those 10 games. He played so well with Domi. In one of the games against St. Louis, he got 3 assists. And Strome was looking like an NHL-ready player. He was carrying the play. He was making plays. He was scoring. He was shooting. He was making confident plays. Even against Buffalo, his first call-up, he just made a cheeky play behind the net to bounce it off Robin Lehner, I think it was, and score his first goal in his call-up stint. And from then on, Strome continued to produce, like I said, 8 points in 10 games. Really was noticeable in the games. Whenever he was scoring or getting points, I was so happy for him, and the fans were happy for him too. He just looked ready. He looked like a completely different player from the other times he got called up and from the season before when he started the season with the Coyotes for Dave Tippett. So I think Tocchet is going to continue to work with him, make him more confident in the offensive zone, take more shots, and slow the play down and be a great NHL player. In the playoffs so far for the Tucson Roadrunners, Strome was leading the league in points. He had 8 points in his first 4 games where the Tucson Roadrunners beat the San Jose Barracuda. Right now they're in a series against the Texas Stars, which right now at the time of this video they have a 1-0 lead in that series. We'll see. I mean, the first game of that series went into overtime. Strome was held pointless, but he had a lot of great looks. He just couldn't beat the goalie of Texas. And hopefully he puts his team on his shoulder and brings him to the Calder Cup. Some other things to talk about Strome is face-off percentage needs to be better as well. He's sitting at a 43% face-off percentage, which is low. You want it higher, closer to 50, because Strome's going to be a second-line center. That's his ceiling on this team, I'm pretty sure. And Dvorak, who's a third-line center, has 51% on the face-off dot. So you want Strome to hit that 50 to increase past 50%, just to start with the puck and make it easier on his teammates. You win a draw back to your D-men, and our D-men are good. They can throw it up the ice. They can make breakout passes. And that's how you get points in this league, is winning face-offs. What about those point shots right off the draw? That's how you get points. So Strome needs to work on his face-offs. And, hopefully this is it for Strome. Hopefully he comes into next season, starts on the Coyotes, plays with Domi and a good winger, and starts producing immediately. That's all I hope for this guy. He's been through a lot. And it's time. It is time. This is his 3rd season where he's going to make the team out of training camp. Just hope he doesn't get demoted back to Tucson. It's time for Strome to step it up and be a great player for this organization and be that number 1 center. Hopefully, I really don't think he'll be a number 1 center on this team, but a number 2 center is just as good. He'll supplement Stepan really well. And having Strome for 80 games, I can't wait. It's going to be exciting, and I'm so happy for Dylan. And hopefully he brings a lot of point production to the team next season. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your support.